welcome to Korean Natural Farming Office Hours for March 6th, 2022. And today, get started with a little bit of I Ching. So today's hexagram is contemplation. And it says, by concentrating on the higher laws, you acquire the power that underlies them. In Chinese, the word Kuan can mean either contemplation or setting an example, depending upon how it is pronounced. This hexagram incorporates both meanings, for what it teaches us is to set an example for others through our own contemplation of proper principles. A fundamental fact of consciousness is that we take on the attributes and energy of that which we focus our attention. In studying and meditating on the I Ching, we are concentrating on the underlying principles that govern the universe. Through contemplation, the wisdom of such principles as independence, detachment, modesty, acceptance, and tolerance, we begin to embody them in our lives. Their power informs our actions and practices, and we begin to have great influence as a result. This hexagram comes to indicate that you need to make a self-correction and return to contemplation of proper principles. By sacrificing harsh judgments of your ego and asking the sage for guidance, you free yourself from hindering influences and increase your merit, and thereby your ability to have influence. It is in the quiet contemplation of what is correct that we become detached from anxious emotions about the situation that faces us. This detachment gives us the balance and calm to choose solutions which are in accordance with higher laws. In doing so, we gain the aid of the creative in everything we do, and others are drawn to this strength. Truly, we gain the ability to lead through contemplation of the principles of our own leader, the sage. Oh, yeah, wow. So, contemplation and contemplating all these things. Lately, I've been contemplating a fair amount of this, so before I jump into questions here today, just want to share a little bit about what I have been contemplating. And I watched this film here the other day, which is this Climate Warriors here. And this is a listing on IMDb. And it has 4.2 out of 10 stars, which is kind of amazing because it was pretty moving and transformational. I think that the solutions that these folks come up with are lacking Korean natural farming. That it's my thought that if we thought about changing the climate and we thought that we had the power to do it, each and every one of us, to go make microbial solutions, to go take the power, because to me climate change is not about the carbon going into the air. It's about the pollutions that are bound up in the fossil fuels, the hydrocarbons. That carbon is like a prison, right? It's a very stable, just like biochar holds nutrients in your soil, so do these hydrocarbons, these liquid oils and gases, hold all these micro parts per trillion toxins. And what I mean, it's a element out of balance. Just like water is good, too much water in the wrong place can drown you and be bad and actually be toxic. Or if you drink too much water, it can kill you. So the same thing of these toxins that are bound up in the ground, we're bringing them to the surface, we're burning them, and we're essentially polluting all of our water and farmland and soil and causing erosion and all these things. And so what is the common denominator of climate change? It's that we put the microbes back. The microbes are like mini janitors that take all these toxins and take them and break them apart and put them back into carbon, humus, soil structure, into the soil, into the ground. And the most effective way to be a climate warrior is, in fact, brewing up a simple tank of disgustingly cheap microbes, which you just take a couple potatoes, a little bit of salt, some soil dirt with good microbes, water, fill it up in a bucket, take all those things, smash them together, blend them, put them in there, and that the microbes in there start to eat that starch, that salt, and using that water, and they grow to immense amounts of life. Then you take that and either dilute it further and just dump that out on the land. And now where there were toxins, all those microbes go and clean up those toxins. And they clean them up and they clean them up, and they just, and where there was one microbe trying to clean up all this toxic stuff, now there's trillions of them. And just like if it's one person trying to lift someone up, they're pretty heavy, but you get 10 people to lift them up, and everyone can lift someone up with a finger. It's light enough. So it's really, to me, what is the best climate warrior? What is the best thing? It's just getting out there and every day spraying microbes. Put it in your car as you're driving, wherever you're driving. Start spraying these microbes out on the road. Start counterbalancing all those toxins you're creating. And even if you're driving a battery car, don't think that you're some evangelist clean person. Like, where that battery was mined is also a toxic pit. All the lithium, all the environmental degradation that just our modern machinery and everything creates, because we don't focus on the microbes, because we don't restore the soil, because we don't have this full understanding. And so through this contemplation of understanding this, contemplating this concept of being like, okay, well, we got serious issues with climate change, they tell us, like I just noticed there's less fish in the ocean. You can't drink the water. Things are, plants are dying, forests are dying, all these things, whatever, climate change, whatever, it really is about toxins and things being poisoned and out of balance, right? So we need to bring things back into balance. So the contemplation, understanding this idea, but then setting the example. And so that's what I've been wanting to do lately. I've been kind of lost with teaching natural farming and doing this. If people come to the farm, they learn, but I just feel like I want to see this grow faster. I would love it if there were like 20 people each week here to train and made it worth it. But lately it's been, I offer a training, a couple people come, it's great, I love you, you guys are amazing, you know what you got, you know how great it is, you know that now you got the skills to go do what you want where you are and spread this. And by no means am I like being like, oh, I don't, feeling a lack here of anything for the people who did step up, but it's people that aren't stepping up, that have no idea about Korean natural farming, that think that it's Korean, it's natural, and it's farming, which means nothing to anybody. And so I really want to shift to setting an example of being a climate warrior. I just created a YouTube channel, Climate Change Warrior. Haven't put up any content yet, but that's what I want to focus on. I'm over natural farming. I'm over trying to teach people how to grow, food here and there. It's like, it's like, I don't know. Maybe it's just the mood I'm in right now. Maybe next week I'll feel better, but it's really like, this stuff is all about the climate. It's all about the, what we can do. And I want to show you another thing, which is, speaking on this contemplation, I don't know if you follow this guy's channel, Ice Age Farmer, but he just talks about how basically the food supply is collapsing, right? Brace for food rationing, food crisis. Shippers cut out Russia, which creates a whole bunch of wheat right now. Merchant ships hit by missiles, which was a Cargill ship. Talking about survival gardening and this. And it'd be great if Christian got me up on the show and we talked about this stuff, and I really gave him great solutions, because he's interviewing folks and, Marjorie Wildcraft, Gabe Brown. These are, I don't know Marjorie, but I do know Gabe Brown. Soil building, these things. But really, Korean natural farming to me, and I could be wrong here, but I think it's the best, quickest, easiest solution to get soil going, build fertility, get your plants growing, counter climate change. You can grow anywhere. You can make these solutions with no cost. You don't have to import fertilizers across the world. You can make it with what you got right there. And to me, this is like the highest, biggest, hugest message I could possibly talk. I usually start the show this way before I dive into your guys' questions, which thank you for tuning in. And I'll get to you guys in a sec here, because I want to answer like the nitty gritty details, because it turns out like I'm kind of like the de facto world expert besides that other dude that has questionable ethics. And, it's like we're here to do this, and I want to show you the nitty gritty of what's about the natural farming stuff. But more than that, it's like, this is a climate change thing. Like, why do I do this? You open my book, which you can get at naturalfarminghawaii.net or KNF support. Thanks for, you buy that ebook, you support me. But you'll notice the opening part of the thing, it says, this book is dedicated to the ocean. So all this stuff that I do, everything that I talk about, like, the whole reason I do this is like, man, we really need to clean up the ocean. I want to have kids. I want to have them thrive. I don't want to have them born into a toxic, can't breathe, can't drink, have to just, I don't know, get a machine to try to fix the climate. You got to be tripping out if you think some carbon capture device that you made out of metal that you mine from the earth is going to do better than trees, than microbes, than plant biomass. You got to be just tripping out to think that you can innovate this stuff. And it's all about microbes. It's all about getting simple. It's all about each and every person realizing they got responsibility. They need to set the example, and they can do it. So anyway, check out Ice Age Farmer here. And if you don't get scared shitless from that, I don't know. But also, another great resource here is Hawaii Farmers Union United. You can search them on YouTube, and they got a whole bunch of videos go through there. All these soil experts talking about these same problems I'm talking about, but not the solutions I'm talking about. Everyone always talks about the problems, and then and furthermore, this climate change warriors, like, their solution is like organize protests and get petitions and things. And it's like, if I could hook up with these guys, the folks there's a couple people in there, the guys that are in this movie, if I could get them to understand KNF and work together, partnership. And I think the way I got to do it is just do it, broadcast this, live stream it, show it, share it, bring it, make this thing like show these solutions. And then maybe these folks will tune in just like I tuned into their video, right? And so all these things, I know you guys want to talk about the nitty gritty Korean natural farming, and I just keep going on this, but it's okay. And lastly, check out my channel if you want to dive deep into Korean natural farming, PureKNF. I always, here's the office hours live here right now happening. And then, this video on the solutions, the microbial theory, how to supersaturate, because there's that other guy that teaches, doesn't talk about this. The nutrient cycle simplified, sugar versus molasses, how to grow better medicinal flowers, recreational fun. And then all these office hours are here, all the recipes and videos, even though I'm about ready to release my new ones that I've made. Then you can go get whole classes by Master Cho, all these things. And if you're a regular viewer of this, you probably already know this. Sorry for telling you again. But if you're brand new, this is what I do. Talk about how we can really change the climate and give solutions, give exactly where I saw all this stuff. raising pigs right in our cities, bringing these things in, using them to recycle our waste. That was my whole criticism of the Kiss the Ground movie. It's like, bro, they're composting. It's like, feed it to an animal first, then compost it. We got to think of these solutions. You can get complete training series from Master Cho on basic, and I say basic poultry. This is the most advanced poultry. I switched to basic because I was pissed off at those guys because they threw me under the bus in 2018. But then there's swine, nutrient cycle, fruit crop, KNF, these field days, all these things with Master Cho, and you can't really get this anywhere else. I mean, nobody else shares this stuff. People have gone there, seen Master Cho, and then they've kept this stuff inside, and they're just, there's some wild people out there in the natural farming community. There's also some great people. I want to shout out to Cheryl and all those people that inspire me. What's up, Cheryl and Tara Lee and George and Mark Reuter. Thanks for all tuning in, you guys. And so all this stuff is here, even hemp conference, you're into that kind of stuff. You got this, and then my popular uploads, of course, this one here, this one's just about to break through. And so all this on this channel that I offer so far for YouTube, for a few ads or premium, whatever, it's free, it's out there, it's good. Just want to share that there are solutions, and since we're Instagram on contemplation, thinking about these ideas, but also doing it, showing it, putting it out there, giving it to you guys, giving it to the people, the folks that need it, trying to be here, trying to make it all work, right? And man, could use some motivation. I put a donate link here in the super chat. It's pinned to the top. That's directly if you want to donate directly to me without going through YouTube, where if you do super chat, it's awesome, appreciate it, but YouTube takes 30%. The link that's in the chat pinned to the top, you can donate directly to me, and I only lose 3% via the card processor. So anyway, I talk about all this stuff. Why? Because, when I give, I get, and it's good, and that link is good. Even if you're not watching it live, you can go donate anytime, and you can put in thousands of dollars there, and it all will help me do what I'm doing, lift my spirits, help me buy equipment, help me do this better, help me spread this stuff. And even if you don't, I don't care, because it doesn't, it's not, I don't care. Like, I don't mean like that. I mean, it's not going to stop me. What the solutions I'm onto, the things I have, cost next to nothing. And these globalists trying to kill us with famines and poisoning the planet, and we're doing it to ourselves. I burn the gas, you burn the gas, we all do. We're all releasing these toxins. But who out there is spraying microbes to sequester that stuff back into the ground, back into the earth, back into where it needs to be, right? Who else is doing that? Who else do you know? Well, send them my way. Tell them to tune in. Next week, I'm going to be switching the format of this, that I'm going to be streaming not directly to YouTube through OBS like I have been these last couple of weeks or months. I've started this in October, and still September, October, still going. 5 months I've been doing office hours. That's right. And I'm going to switch to StreamYard so that I can bring some folks into the conversation. I've been watching Zot from the Ottawa protest where they occupied the Capitol up there, and then Zot and Shar put together StreamYard where they bring people randomly in by posting the link and bring people in for discussion, and I like that a lot better than Zoom. So I'm going to start using StreamYard to do this, and I will simulcast this into the Korean Natural Farming Group, but also, into my YouTube, but also the Korean Natural Farming Group on Facebook. So I'll be simulcasting those things through StreamYard, and that also enables me to bring in guests, have people besides just me ranting or talking or answering these questions. These last couple episodes where I had Cheryl, thanks for visiting, and it was a blast doing this with you. Thomas, who visited, was a fan of this office hour, came out to Hawaii, learned, and was on here. But hopefully I can get more of this out, because I don't know if you can tell, but I'm a little bit like raw and burnt on this. I'm just like, I feel like I'm setting an example and grinding and doing, and like, I'm like, why am I doing this? And it brings this community together, and I appreciate you guys tuning in. And I don't know, but here I am live and I can't really do anything other than just talk how I am and explain this stuff of my situation. But I've literally been ranting at you for about 20 minutes here of what is going on, what is the contemplation, what am I thinking about, but furthermore, what am I doing and how am I going to do it better, and what the heck, how could like, let's get some support flowing, let's get it going. Send pictures of you spraying your random street, send videos of you going to some place where they sprayed Roundup and go and spray it with microbes. Send videos of you like brewing this stuff, getting activated, spraying normies, just drive by spraying normies and just soak them with these microbes so they can turn on their damn brains and get them to think and get them to and start growing better food so you can save money and get these things, all these things. You're saying farming is profitable enough, and it's like begging for donations. I guess there's trolls everywhere, but you know. So let's go. Okay, so here. Okay, let's dive into the questions because I'm just your question answering piece of what. Okay, so may I ask you the difference? So George is asking, may I ask you to talk about the key differences and usage between water-soluble calcium and calcium phosphate? Yes. Okay. So conceptually, and this is when I explain this to children, because this is, if I can explain it to a child, I can explain it to anyone, right? So the eggshells are the fruit of a chicken. That's the fruit coming out. That is the calcium. It makes fruits. It's the fruit of the chicken. Okay. Now, bones are the structure. So it gives me the strength to stand, to go, to be, right? And that's the structure. So think of those two things just in that simple thing. Fruit goes to fruit. Structure goes to structure. So just what they're made from, the eggshells. Now you can go into that and be like, well, that's not very scientific. I need the data. I'm an American. I don't believe this stuff. I need data. I need things shown. Well, go ahead and go do the damn data. Take the thing, make it properly, and go do the analysis. And you'll find that there is water-soluble calcium. It's calcium acetate or whatever the hell it is. And it goes directly into making the eggshells harder. You drink it, it makes you stronger. But calcium transports things throughout. So why does it make the fruit better? Because it takes all that accumulative growth that the plant has put into like building solar panels and building energy, and it translates all those carbohydrates into sugars, which go into your fruit. That's what calcium does. You can study it scientifically. You can slice and dice it. You can get a PhD degree studying that kind of stuff. There you go. The bones, the calcium phosphate, there is a little bit of calcium in there, but it's mostly the phosphate. It comes out slower, it turns a darker color, and it's pyrophosphates. So you're getting those things coming out there. Oh, yeah. Thanks, Mark. Appreciate you, man. Wish you were here for a week or two. Got a bunch of projects I could knock out. I've been just chugging along at the farm, basically been fixing machines, fixed my internet here, got the whole place going, switching my model over from trying to make money doing natural farming, begging for donations, to trying to make it and saying farming's profitable. Fuck that, bro. You can take this same land and sell it and make tons of money versus trying to farm. Unless you're, you can rape the land and get profitable. You can do this stuff. Farming is meant to be done by more people, more areas, more things. And so I'm sorry I'm a little pissed this morning. It's just like, God damn, I watch this shit. I try to get up on this stuff and I do. Like I've been kind of actually been bled out on this thing a little bit in terms of, every Sunday coming here doing this and answering questions, but it's good. So George is asking, I have a 200-liter barrel of ash from house heating system. How should I use it? I'll be making a no-dig garden bed. And should I spread it before applying composted manure? Now, this is a great thing. And let's take the word potassium and slow down saying it. Potassium. Potassium. So your ashes from the pot is going to have a lot of potassium in it. However, ash can be very concentrated and also have other things in there that are not that great if you put it in large quantities. So the idea is to lightly dust that on the top. Don't incorporate too much of it in, but a little bit of ash can go a long way, because basically when a tree grows, you got two things happening. One is 96% of the tree, 96% of what you see above ground came out of the air. Only about 4% of that came out of the ground. Okay, so when people say, "Oh, how do plants grow? I need so much nutrients. I need to amend the soil. I need to do so much." 96% of what you're growing came out of the air. So you need good airflow. You need, and also the rain, right? Water and air. But there's water in the air, and if you got good soil, actually the water comes out of the air without needing irrigation. Irrigation is like bad farming practices, the type bad soil, and like it means, you know, if you have great soil growing, it depends on the crop you're growing too. Some things are more water intensive, and of course you'll get higher yields if you irrigate more, but it's not necessary for growth. And I could get in a whole rabbit hole of that. I'm sure there's troll haters that are going to hate on me for saying that. But look, the idea is 96% of what you see of vegetation around you came out of the air. Only 4% came out of the ground. When you light that tree on fire, or that biomass, and you burn it, everything that gets burnt and goes out back into the air is the stuff that you didn't need. The stuff that remains behind in the ash, that is what came out of the ground. Those are your earth minerals. So those are the most potent earth minerals you have to put out there. And so grab those, put those out there. They're very potent. But like I said, it's you don't want to put more than 4% of it there, because you probably upset it, because the rest of the stuff's supposed to come out of the air. So think about that. Might be a good idea. And yes, sorry the schedule's bad for you, GrowPro, man. You've been one of the best supporters, one of the most tuned in folks. I'm glad you get to rewatch it later. You'll probably be like, what happened to Drake on this episode? Man, you know, it's trying to set a good example. I'm trying to motivate people, but I don't think me getting upset is a way to motivate people. It probably turns people off from this. But I don't know. I'm going to make another channel where I can just be myself, and instead of trying to be some happy guy helping you guys out with natural farming, I can just be like, look, fucking fix the fucking climate. God damn it. Right? Don't do that here. Don't ruin my reputation. Don't ruin this. Keep this going. Even though I feel like that, you know, yeah, if people don't, I've watched other people use computers, and I realize some people do not know how to use computers. So I apologize if you don't know how to hit the subscribe button. You probably should. I don't really care. In fact, hit the unsubscribe button. It's great. I have 15 gallons of FAA 1 month old doing awesome. The 5 gallons of vinegar from last summer's cannabis FBJ is finished and tastes good. Awesome, Mark. Good to check in with you. Maybe next time can pull you into the conversation with the StreamYard. Get that good. Let's see. Yesterday I made a first FAA from 3 kilograms of fish inside the heads. Probably needs more sugar since it's already looks soupy. Do not worry. Just add equal amount weight of sugar to equal amount of fish. If it looks soupy, it's happening properly. It's not like it's supposed to be some sort of solid. That soup, as long as it doesn't stink, you're good on the fish. Keep that going. Do it. Keep it good. You don't need to keep adding sugar. Just submerge the fish. And if it doesn't stink, don't add sugar. And when I say stink, it smells like rotting fish. It should smell like fresh, good fish. Amazing. What do I use to filter the FAA? I use just a sieve, like a filter sieve thing. filter the FAA. I take a bucket, drill holes in the bottom, dump it into a bucket. It goes through that. Once most of the solids have come out, then I filter it through a finer filter. Depends on the volume I'm doing, but that's by far the easiest way. Just let gravity do the work, and double filter because it's quick and easy. And Rainbow Possum Farm, I'm glad you spread the word to everyone you know and doing it and just spraying them. In fact, getting them to eat lactobacillus, turning on their brain, decalcifying their pineal gland, all those types of things. Like, that's the work, right? T-shirt strainer, those are good ideas. You guys are great. Yeah, thanks for saying to donate. And then the other guy's saying not to donate. Here. Profits are fueled by donations. That's what communities are for, not the profit. Yeah, what's up, eyewitness? Bro, I'm glad you're tuning in, man. Oh, yeah, it's, you know, it's been a week, man. I'm glad. Let's see. Yeah, if Mark's gonna come over, organize some classes on North Shore, you know, teaching people that need it. Yep. You guys are on it. Where can I get a paper copy of my book? It always says out of stock. It's because I don't, between all the things I do, I don't have enough time to go and ship things on a regular basis. However, I do think I may start shipping books on like Monday only. And then if you make an order, it just ships on Monday instead of shipping every day. Books out. In fact, I should get those books out because the rest of the books out there are crap. And you know, it's a work in progress. It's getting better. But yeah, I should really get out there and put it. Yeah, sorry, I'm feeling perturbed. You're a real beacon for us all. I know I really should stay in a higher light, and I don't want to get like upset because I really appreciate the folks tuning in, and I don't want to turn you guys off. I really want to be here to do the office hour, to put these things out, you know, to create a sense of community. But I have been doing it for 5 months, which is longer than most people do podcasts and all these things, and it's a lot. And sometimes it feels real one way on this. And again, I say that because it's just, it's like, yeah, more I Ching, right? Set the example, contemplation, these things. You're like, okay, yeah, okay. So yeah, thanks for letting me be a beacon for you, and do check out the stuff I have up there already. And if I'm breaking up, it's because I got shit internet that I have Airbnb guests that are probably using at the time. I am, however, getting fiber internet coming here pretty soon, and it looks like I've dropped about half the packets here because my little hotspot is right here, and it only has 1 bar, and it sucks, and it's another thing to make me, you know, add another thing to my plate, but it's good. And, ooh, yes, if Steve Dredd and I are on the same page, that's good. Because, yeah, it's about cleaning our water, cleaning our soil, growing food, getting these things up. Yeah, so I can ship books out if you guys need. It's you know, I print them each one. In fact, I actually just got a deal with a printer to try to print a whole bunch of them. And link up with Build a Soil. Yeah, Build a Soil always comes and does they the people that view my channel view Build a Soil, so it's interesting. Yeah, getting the folks, getting them to be out there. I think also part of my frustration has been just these past years. It's like I haven't even been able to build a community, right? Having these stupid mandates and these things where it's like policies that don't even work, and making I think it's just to destroy our psyche and destroy us as people, and to make us just eat the fucking grime they're gonna try to give us. And just yeah, and you're saying you can't save this wicked system or keep it from killing the earth, but stonemason, check it out. You can actually save the wicked system and keep it from killing the earth. It starts with each person doing that simple microbial solution and doing it at your own place. And the other thing is getting out of the banking system. Fractional reserve banking is wicked, right? It's not the like politics and all that bullshit cruft is based on the bankers, and it's the bankers stealing our money, inflating it, and stealing our money that is destroying fabrics of society. It's and sure, they back it up with guns and stuff, but it's the bankers. It's these guys that are hidden behind. They get us divided on race and gender and this and that, and no one ever points at the bankers. And when Jesus went in there and he flipped over the tables, he got the bankers. And you know what they did? They murdered him 3 days later. They were like, you ain't doing that. And it's the bankers, and it's those guys. It's a money currency. If you went back to a farming system with where the farmers and the produce and the farms were the base of your currency, it would actually inflate naturally because you grow more, versus debt, you owe more. Every single time you borrow $1, you owe more, versus when you plant a seed, that thing makes more seeds and it grows. And that's the difference. We got to get rid of the bankers. We got to throw them out. We got to just get rid of the banks and bring it back, the currency, to farmers, to credit, to real life and growing and prosperity and abundance. And we can overthrow the wicked system. It starts with Korean natural farming. It starts with putting microbes in the soil. It starts with biochar. It starts with trading locally. It starts with growing food and getting off the dependence, because they got us wrapped around the finger of the military industrial complex, pumping out chemicals, bomb making material to put in our ground, that we declared a war on the soil. And it's over that. It's, so we can do it. We can return this earth to a place of Eden, to a place where there's sailing ships that go around and deliver goods and make prosperity and abundance. And these are the solutions. And so when I hear people say, oh, there's no chance, like you just got to let it burn down, that's crap. So what I should just be going out there and just shooting people and just like ripping things apart? No, that's terrible thinking. The way to do it is an individual doing the microbes and teaching people and getting everyone to do it, right? Yeah, and the Fed, right? It's like, but actually not end the Fed, be the Fed, be the feeders. It's so sick and twisted how those people took the Fed, right? We are sucked into them because they feed us, right? We do it on fiat currency. We do it on this banking BS. And it's just like, we're done for if we do that, right? And so it's like, you do this type of farming, you get this message out. We gotta get into the life. And I don't know, that it's like when folks say you can't do anything, it's like, no way, bro. It's us. If we don't, our children are gonna die. And it's like we gotta do it, man. We gotta do it, and if we just make it through the purge and let everyone else die, I mean, that's fine with me. Go, let the normies go and watch their mainstream media and plug in their brain and take the juice and get all, and if you've done that, hey, no thing on you, but you really should look into microbes and healing and Korean natural farming and keeping viruses away via microbiome, and how all this stuff is pleomorphic, and how what that wicked organizations have put out there and the mind control they've locked us into is just wicked stuff. So anyway, I appreciate the community. I like you guys talking in the chat. It's good. Yeah, thanks for starting a blog in Hungary. Yeah, you guys, man, I just heard you shut off grain shipments according to Ice Age Farmer. Seems like that thing in Ukraine is probably going to mess you guys up pretty hardcore. Probably the whole world, but I think it's just an excuse to inflate money that they knew was going to come anyway. They use AI prediction engines to like look out into the future and then create these fake narratives to, just so no one ever looks at the bankers. They've never said, oh, why is there inflation? No one's ever said, well, because we printed this many trillion and we printed 50% of the money in the last year. It's like, that's probably the reason for the inflation. It's probably not supply chains or these other things, but they'll say anything to keep you from looking at the bankers. Anything. And they'll just lie and lie, lie. And it's terrible. So watch out. And if you tune into this channel today, maybe you've seen a different face of me, but I don't know. I just, I got to set the example. If you're not mad, you're not angry, and you're not doing something about it, then you're on the other team. So, not to say that you got to get mad and angry. You should be peaceful and loving, but at the same time, you should be as motivated and as like, rah, rise up, lions. Let's go. Let's do this stuff, And so, yeah. So, yeah. And if you're no longer broke, man, it's not just about money. I'm not here to like be a grifter and beg for money and whatever. I'm just saying, if you give me money, I will do better things, and I will show up, and I'll be in a better mood. And that's all I'm saying. It's not like I'm not going to show up. I just may be more pissed off next week, right? That's fine. Thanks for the inspiration. Yeah, you guys. Oh, I do appreciate it. I can laugh, and it's good. Yeah, so if anyone wants to link me up with great people out there doing great things, getting us into getting these solutions to the right hands, getting me to Ice Age Farmer, putting me out there, putting these things in a way where it's like, got to connect with the right folks, got to set the example. I think I'm going to start my radical YouTube channel, do that. At least give me an outlet that I'm not going to ruin this audience. Yeah, and like living on a farm, you don't have to live on a farm. Ice Age Farmer talks about how you can grow potatoes in a bag, but then Sue's always mentions, potatoes alone are not enough. You need to mix them with butter or sour cream or some sort of animal protein. And if you're vegan and all that, hey, that's cool. You probably won't be for long, because that diet, I've watched so many people on that diet just lose their teeth, lose their muscle mass. They, and a balanced thing with integrated animals. And my question for vegans is always, vegans to what degree, right? Do you realize that you're eating little tiny animals? And you can say, oh, maybe they're not sentient, but I tell you what, those animals move around. They think, they create colonies, they work together. In fact, some would say some fungus are smarter than human beings in terms of their optimization techniques. And they built the Tokyo subway system with fungus, using that to find the shortest optimal path. And so, so I think integrated animal farming is super vital, and keeping chickens, keeping rabbits, keeping sheep, goats, cows, pigs, all these things. You can do it with no smell, in a rate, build an inoculate deep litter system, get into it, let's see here. One of my most popular videos on YouTube, which I only have 128,000 views, so could use some views there, is this one here. And this me talking all slow and stuff. I did this video kind of as a prank. Lag and load even worse for you. But it shows my no smell pig pen. And in fact, I don't want to, I'm going to lag it too bad if I do this, but it's this one, it's no smell pig pen right here. You can build this system anywhere. You can keep it. In fact, in Eyewitness was talking about it. Helps, mental clarity. It helps all these things. Helps strengthen your body, keeps you going. And so, yeah, Tara, if you want to reach out to folks and let them know about the office, I line up like Ice Age Farmer, somebody like that with an audience. My buddy Stephen Cornett, he got a pretty big audience. He's been getting into Korean natural farming. If you check out Nature's Always Right, those guys go, yeah. And let's see here. Weedy Garden is a great channel. Yeah, and there's a conscious choice to either slaughter an animal or not. You're right. So yeah, and you can raise animals without slaughtering them. There's, just like people have dogs, right? You could keep a couple pigs and get all the fertilizer and have them recycle your stuff. And you don't need to kill them. You could just let them naturally croak when they do, right? And let them die on their own. Pigs live about 12 years or so, like about 10 right now, and she's a good girl. Haven't killed her yet, and she hasn't even given me any babies. And so it's like, why do I keep her alive? I like her. She's a nice pig. She's really pretty nice. So, um, yeah. Hey, Ron. Thanks for Australia, and you discovered and opened your eyes to practical solutions to what I thought were hopeless problems. And that's right, right? That's kind of why I'm frustrated today. That's kind of why I'm like, you guys, hello, right? Because it's like these solutions are like everything that everyone's been looking for, right? There's all these people out there that are like, change the climate, oh, do this, do that. I talked about it in this other talk, but farmers have the biggest opportunity to have the biggest impact. We do more land is under agricultural production than is in forest. Okay. So if you think about that and you think, oh, the forest is going to save us. No, it's ag production. It's switching our ag production into this. You save water, you clean the air, you grow better crops. It costs less money. Everything is there, right? This is the one. So it's the way to do it. And so Greg, you're saying the price of sugar is going up too quick. Well, then ditch the sugar, man. If you can't afford it, go just water, potatoes, soil, and salt. Mix that together. Boom. Instant, disgustingly cheap microbial solution. You need a food. Take your weeds, cut them, throw them in a barrel, add water, add a little bit of soil. Now you got a fertilizer. Boom. Zero of that needed sugar. Those things, do not drink them. They're terrible. Then once you get that and you get that, now you can afford some sugar. Maybe you grow some sugar if you're in the right place. Now you can go and afford sugar to make something for your humans, right? That you get. Go on to Korean natural farming, Master Cho's version of it instead of Young Sung's, right? They're the same techniques. That's why there's always this JADAM, KNF. It's all Korean natural farming, okay? Those folks, that's one family. They've stayed right here in this cabin when it used to have actually beds in here. They've lived right here. Their spirit, their mana, their energy, that cord is here, right? It's that energy that I've been left with. That I actually got some real sad news that I'm maybe not supposed to share. But I had lunch with Dr. Park the other day. He's the guy who brought Korean natural farming to Hawaii. He is legendary. If you don't know who Dr. Park is, then you need to go watch my videos, because every time you see me in Korea, Dr. Park is there. He is the man. He is the translator. He is this old, sweet dude with the biggest heart in the entire world. And I was so honored to go eat lunch with him and his wife, his wife just had a stroke a year ago. She's doing a lot better. And he just had prostate issues, and he's doing a lot better. But these guys are old. They're like 80 plus, and so he told me, I got to sit down with him, have an hour lunch with him, just enjoy, and he wanted to have lunch with me because he's proud of what I'm doing. And he was just like, I love you, man. Thank you. And I'm just like, man, how it's so weird when somebody says that about that, and it's just like, am I worthy? I'm just trying to do my own thing, trying to get the people out on the internet to do this stuff, to get the solutions into people's hands, man. And he told me, I know I kind of go on long rants, but Master Cho is in assisted living, which is not a good thing. It's kind of like and it's not like he's in, it's like he's in a kind of care home, and he's probably not long for this world here at this point. He's not doing well. He's not traveling. He's not teaching, and Master Cho is not doing well. So that's kind of some bad news. So it literally leaves us, the next generation, these folks that have learned to have all this responsibility, because when he passes, it's like, man, he has so much knowledge and wisdom, and I wish I could just go study with him and be there and learn. And I've had great sessions with him, especially after the classes at night, just talking stories, telling me about dirt and how rocks get old and aged and tired, just like people do, and all this stuff. I mean, he's just a wealth of knowledge, and his understanding of these analogies of this wonder mastery of natural farming is just unreal. and his care and love for the animals. And I've seen him bring a dead pig back to life, and it's just, he is something special to the world. And you know, so if you want to send some prayers, condolences, whatever, I don't know, you know, I can reach out to him. I do have a way to call him, but I can't speak Korean and I only speak very little Japanese, so our conversations are very limited. But anyway, so there's lots of ways to do it without sugar, and hopefully we can keep this knowledge going. Yeah, so send seed to the Ukraine ASAP. That, you know, the whole, yeah, the Ukraine has plenty of seed. Actually, they produce 16% of the world's wheat. They're the breadbasket of Europe. What's happening is going to put a lot of pressure on us. And if you think you're an American and you think you're insulated from this food crisis coming, I don't think so. You've already seen inflation raise prices 15 to 30% in the grocery store this year, and you are not insulated from this. And when food goes up another 15, 30%, it goes up 50%, gas rises, all these things. You think food is going to be cheap, you think it's going to be easy, you think it's going to be abundant, you think you need to help people in other countries. Heck no, you're going to need to help people right here where you are, in your household, in your family. And if you're not growing food, don't say I didn't warn you. Like, get into it. Put the microbes, grow the food. I mean, you're probably here because you are a food grower, so I appreciate that. But it's all about people out there. Yeah, and yeah, JADAM is an awesome way to heal the land without hurting your pocket, you know, just spraying microbes everywhere. It's so cheap, it's so easy. That's what I'm going to make the Climate Change Warrior channel about, is just like, hey, here's a solution. Except for, I think I'm going to wear a mask because I want to make it kind of like this persona of like this bad boy kind of thing. Like, oh, I'm spraying, and like, just, I'm not without permission. I'm just going to go spray the roadsides. I'm going to go everywhere. Just, you know, people's yards at night, without permission. Just go and spray. Why? Because that's what we got to do. We cannot wait and ask permission. We cannot wait for approval. We cannot wait for someone to give us, you know, like the funds and the resources. You got to start with what you got, and everyone has exactly what you need to do this. You do. It's right there. It's under your feet. You got a potato in your at the grocery store, or in your closet, or in the, you know, in the ground. There's starch everywhere. There's you don't even need a potato. We've been making it from flour. We got some flour that kind of went rancid, and I've been making microbe solution from flour, soil, salt, water. Boom. 2 days, it's all bubbly. It's like, oh, there's so many microbes in there, and then just dumping that on the land, dumping it into my waterways. We don't need permission for this. Get out there. Do it. In fact, get arrested doing this, to make a message to, like, just like the folks putting themselves on the lines, you know, chaining themselves down to machinery and stuff. It's like, bro, we got to get this movement out there in a way where it's like, there's a solution. Suck it, globalists. We got the right skills. We got the right things. You know, these tools are here. You have no excuse at this point, right? I mean, what am I doing later today? Oh, yep, I'm going out, I'm spraying microbes, right? I'm getting them all over my land. I'm doing it at least once a week. And furthermore, I think I'm going to get my truck today and spray. Go out there and just put it out. I got a little 12-volt pump that hooks right into my cigarette lighter in the truck. Little on-off switch, flip that thing on, boom. All those microbes all over the road, cleaning that thing up. And that's what it's about, cleaning the toxins, right? Cleaning it. So, all right. Yeah. Send love to Master Cho if you can. You know, it's yeah, I appreciate it. Thomas, it's been so good to get to know you, man. I think, you know, we'll definitely be lifelong friends. Hopefully that'll be a long time. Yeah. Yeah, you know, it's just the reflections of what we're up to and what I'm doing, you know. I got here today and I was just like, man, the last couple of days I've been feeling it, where it's like it's a little bit of a strain, man. You've seen how much effort it is. Go teach, do this, get in here, put all this up. It's giving my energy away, you know. It's giving those things out, and it's you know, and I want the energy to go someplace, go into the land, go into the ocean, go into the soil, go into making solutions. Yeah, yeah. Well, you know, it's interesting to see how tied up people get in politics. All that is it's just theater. It's just theater. It doesn't matter. It's the bankers that you need to worry about. It's the people and their food supply. That's what you need to worry about. Politics, all these characters, these big you know, oh, I'm this so and so, I'm this, and I, you know, that's just theater. It's just a distraction. If you get on that level, you're done for. You know, you need to transcend that and realize you got the power. You are the government. We are, you know, anyone, oh, the government. Well, that's you, that's me. As Americans, as anywhere around the world, you are the government. You're just oppressed or suppressed and not in charge because you're not bringing it. You're not putting the food, the money, the things. We've been swindled. And I was born into this. It's not, you know, and so were you, right? It's not like the central bank was created before any of our lifetimes. We've all been born into this and we don't even know, right? It's just like if you take worms, composting worms, and you put them into water, they'll drown. But if you take composting worm eggs and you put them in water, they'll hatch and they'll live right in the water, right? And so when you're born into conditions, you don't know these things. And so we've all been born into this and we don't know. So it's really feel empowered, feel as if, you know, maybe I didn't answer that many KNF questions today. This was mostly a rant. I don't know. Please do send me some questions so I can answer some things, stay on point. Otherwise, I just end up doing this and, you know, makes me a little bit nervous to just be like this out there. Because I don't know if you guys like this. Who wants to tune into this week after week? I do watch Gerald Celente. He's an interesting guy. And week after week, he just cusses at you on the internet through the thing. And so maybe I've been watching too much of that, bringing that in. Maybe I need to write that up, you know, bring those things out. But I think that guy's onto some things. He tries to predict these things. He predicted the mass stuff going away in March, and sure enough, here it is. Oh, it's going away. It's like, oh, what happened? Cases are higher than ever. It's like that whole stuff. Anyway, I don't really want to get into that whole thing. I don't want to make this channel about that. I want to make it about solutions that when I drink lactobacillus, viruses don't affect me. Well, not like don't affect me, but they have to fight all those protectors in me to then get through to infect me, right? And so it's like, oh, it's like instead of sterilizing my hands with some chemical and getting rid of all my biology, which now I'm absolutely totally anything bad that lands propagates. Instead, I take thousands of trillions of good guys and put it on my hands, and now something bad lands and it has to fight trillions of good guys, right? These are the things, man. So yeah, so the virtual mycelium is real and connecting faster at the next level, fam. Yes, through the internet, through the Wi-Fi, we are the ones we've been waiting for. And thanks for the love, you guys. Appreciate it. If you stayed this long, you truly are a fan. I do love you. I hope that we mutually support each other in a way that lifts us up. I hope this next week can be super productive for all of us in a way that we restore the earth and we feel like these things are better and good, and get these things out. Fish It Off is asking, is there any worry about mercury in the FAA? Yeah, I do think there are some heavy metals and things in there. I don't think in the FAA, by the time you take the fish and then it's fermented, which helps to tie up those compounds and or break them down, and or microbes are kind of like alchemists. They can do transmutation a little bit, and don't quote me on that. It's not scientific. It's more just observation. But I was just learning the other day about how, a chicken can get more calcium in the chicken than is possible, right? And so there is some sort of transmutation that science does not understand yet. So do you have to worry about the mercury in the FAA? By the time you use it, you're diluting 1 to 1,000. There's so little bit of anything in there besides the good stuff that it's almost homeopathic. So the idea of mercury accumulation, I don't think is the same way. So yeah, in foliar spray 6-month-old FAA, and I call it knfFUEL. I really encourage you to drop the acronyms and start speaking fuel, because when you start talking about it, you say, can I spray 6-month-old knfFUEL? It's like, yeah, of course, right? But when you say FAA, it's like, can I spray? It's like, it's almost like this esoteric, creepy language that makes it so confusing and hard to understand KNF. It's just simple stuff. So I highly encourage you, go to KNF support, download the book, learn the vocabulary, and start speaking the proper language, because when you do that, all these questions will become so much simpler. I used to teach 6th graders, and so I made it easy that they can understand it. And if they can understand it, you can. So I want to thank you guys all for tuning in and encourage you to grow food, which you can become the Fed and start banking on your own stuff, building your assets, making your own fertilizer, getting out of these systems and getting into your neighborhoods and getting so abundant that we thrive and shine. And thanks for being here today. As always, you can find this episode and all my episodes at knfsupport.com, right here under the office hour tab. And you can also ask questions here, which I sometimes get to these. It looks like I got a few to answer here. But it's great because anyone can answer there. It's unlike Facebook, it's a platform where the best answers can be voted up. So for instance, this answer here, someone's asking what is the temperature for the JADAM microbe solution. Let's just look at it. And it looks like there's 2 answers here. And this one here is not an answer. So I can go here and I can vote this one up. This answer, which I don't think I'm logged in, but I can vote this answer up, and now this good answer rises to the top. And if there were a bunch of junk answers, they would sink to the bottom. So this platform, get the knowledge, find the best stuff, make it happen, get it out to the people. So KNF support, great thing, great happening. Look forward to next week. I'm going to be doing it through StreamYard, which will be going to YouTube and the Korean Natural Farming Group on Facebook, although I highly encourage you to get off Facebook. The company is wicked and all those things, so appreciate it and appreciate the love. If you do want, KNF support, we got our answers here. Let's work together. Let's make this place a better thing. And always, long live the natural farmer. Love you. Aloha.